Hi, I'm going to show you how to connect Trello to your PixieBrix account. Trello's made it a little bit more complicated lately, and it's going to feel a little confusing, but don't worry, I've got you, and I'm going to walk you through it. As I go through this video, you're going to see some blurred out text. That's because API keys and tokens are pretty sensitive pieces of information. So when you see me going through something and the text is blurred, you can imagine it's going to look something kind of like this. And so any place, you'll see the exact area you should be referencing this. You just won't see the actual text. On your screen, there will be text. On my screen, there will be a blur. And that's just because it's sensitive information, but it's going to look something like this, and you should still be able to follow along with wherever that is on the screen. Grab the text that's there and put it in the place that I specified. Just wanted to caveat that. So first of all, what you're going to do is you're going to go to app.pixiebrix.com. This takes you to your admin console, and if you don't already have a team, you can go ahead and create one. And from here, you're going to see that team name appear over here. Mine is called the Pixies, and you're going to scroll all the way down to click integrations here. Again, there's an integrations up here with personal, but you're typically going to want to use Trello with other people on your team. So go ahead and head down here to the team one and hit integrations. From there, you can click add integration, that button up there, and just type Trello. Click that. Give it a label. This means just call it something that's recognizable. So I'm going to call it Brits Demo Trello. And next down here, you're going to be like, what is this API key and API token? It might seem like kind of confusing if you've never seen it before. Don't worry, I'm going to walk you through it. So first of all, this link that says get your Trello API key, open it in a new tab. So right click it and then click open in a new tab, just because we want to keep this page open and still be able to access from over there. So now we've got this up still. Go over here, and it's going to ask you, you're basically going to create a power up / integration. So you're going to click this new button here, where notice inside of Trello here, you'll need to log in if you're not already logged in. You can call it whatever you want. So I'm going to call it PixieBrix test. You need to select which workspace you want to give it access to. Don't worry, we will get a token in a minute that lets you get access to multiple workspaces, but for now, just select one. And you do not need to put anything in here. You do not need to, don't worry about the iframe connector. For email, you will need to put your email address. I just put the same thing for the support one and email. Both of those can be the same thing. They can be whatever you want. Author name can be whatever you want it to be. So again, don't worry about everything here. It's mostly semantics, but you want to put a name, select a workspace, ignore this iframe connector one, put in your email again for support contact, and just name your company or your name if you're an author. Then hit create. Once you do that, it's going to pop up this modal saying generate a new API key. Click that. And then I'm going to click generate an API key. And so this here, this is your API key. This is what you want. You can just click this copy button right next to it. Click that. And then go back over here to the tab with PixieBrix and paste it in here. And that is your API key. You now have step 1 of 2 completed. You're really close. You're almost done. All right. So next thing you're going to need to do, go back over here. And do you see this paragraph over here where it says most developers will need to ask, authorize, if you're looking to build an application for yourself, you can manually generate a token. That is what we need. So click that, and it'll open a new tab automatically. And you'll probably recognize this screen. You've probably seen it if you've ever added a power up or connected anything to your Trello board. Scroll down here and click allow, and it's going to give you this token right here. Copy that, and then you're going to go back over here to the integrations tab and post that in. And then you'll click add configuration. You're good to go. If for some reason that didn't work for you, we've had a few people where it doesn't actually pop up that screen. If that is the case, here's what you're going to do. It's a little bit more complicated, but it's still doable. If you've got these 2 values, you can skip. You're done. If you, for some reason, didn't get that API token, here's what you need to do. Take this URL here that I've got in this red text below. All right, take that, and then copy it into a new tab here. Now, what you're going to do is you see this section here with the curly brackets and API key and then curly brackets. Make sure you've got that selected. And we're going to remove that and put your API key in, the one you got from the other page. We're going to put that in here. And so again, you can go over here and get it. Just hit copy. And we're going to put it right in here, right after key equals. Just paste that in there. And your URL is going to look something like this. Trello.com, blah, authorized key. It's going to have the key and name, blah, 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 blah. Hit that, and it'll take you to that same spot we were before. You'll be able to hit allow. It'll generate the token, etc. And so again, once you've got those, just click Add Configuration, and you'll now be able to use this when you're activating a Trello mod. So for instance, let's say we are going to activate this guy. It's going to ask us for a Trello integration. There we go. And so now you can see you'll have a drop down here of all of the different Trello integrations you've set up that you want to use. So this is the one I just created. And so now I can use that and keep activating it for that. And there are some situations when you will be activating that you need to specify a specific board. So for instance, if you want to capture any idea in a Trello brain inbox, when you go to activate this, it's going to ask you for a specific board or a Trello list ID. If you want to find the list and board IDs, it's a little tricky, but it's still very easy to do, okay? And you'll only have to do this when you configure the mod. So I have a brain inbox Trello board. Very simple board, just has two lists, an incoming list that I dump a bunch of stuff in. If I want to find the list ID, here's what I'm going to do. So take this whole URL, right? And at the top, just add .json.json at the end there. Hit enter. It's immediately going to start looking a little bit scary. Don't worry. I'll show you exactly what you need to find here. You don't have to worry about most of this. So anywhere on this page, we now want to search. You can, if you're on a Mac, you can do Command F. If you're on a Windows or another machine, you might need to do like Control F. But basically, you're opening this Finder box here. You're going to search for the name of the list. So mine was incoming. So I see incoming here, right? And now I'm going to copy this because this is the ID of the list. And so when I'm over here in PixieBrix and I want to activate that, that's my list ID I want to use. If, for instance, I have another one that is asking for my board ID, I go to this exact same place. So the board that I want, brain inbox, and just add that JSON to the end. But instead of having to search for a specific list, I'm going to grab this very first ID at the beginning. This is the board ID. So remember, board ID is to get any IDs of lists or boards, go to the board that you have in question. Just open it up in Trello. At the end of the URL, add .json, enter. And then when it turns into all of that coding, that massive JSON object, this is your board ID right here. You don't need to include the quotes. It's just the numbers and letters in between it. And if you're looking for a specific list, just do Command or Control F and search for the list. And remember, this works for, I had another list on there named reference. If I wanted to grab that one, just search for the name, and then there'll be an ID that comes before it. And it'll show up multiple times, and that's totally fine. It's the same ID each time. So that's what you're going to want to do for that. And then you'll just plug that in when you're activating the mod. So if it's asking for a list ID, you'll provide the list. If it's asking for a board ID, you'll provide the board. And then you already have your integration set up, so that should be good to go. If you have any questions at all, please reach out in the community. Send me an email. I'll be happy to help get you sorted out. Even happy to hop on a call and walk you through this if you need to. So thank you.